Hello, everybody. I'm Annie with The Right Review, and I'm here with Rebecca Taylor. She's recently released her favorite, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Her Perfect Life. I don't know what I'm thinking. Because, I have to admit, I don't know whether to say A or her. And I think that I know that that's part of the je ne sais quoi of the book, right? So that's what threw me off. So sorry about that. Um, but this is not her first novel, but I want her to explain more about that. But this is her first adult novel, right? But she's won awards for her other novels. She started writing in 2014. Has a bunch of books out that are very popular. Has which I would like to discuss as well as we go on into the interview. Now, I usually have Serena Soap here. She is the co-founder of The Right Review, but sadly, she is dealing with a loss in her family right now. So I regret that sadness for her. So while you tell everybody what the book's about or what brought it to fruition, I would like to share the interview on 2 pages, but I would also like to welcome you, Rebecca, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I feel very fortunate to be here with you, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here today. So, yeah. So you want me to talk about Her Perfect Life?
Yes, just what it is about a little bit, because we don't give away spoilers.
Okay. So it is my first women's fiction, and as you had mentioned, I had written young adult titles in the past, so we can circle back to that a little bit later.
But they're really good.
Yeah, thanks. But with this particular title, this is it right here. My first women's fiction, and it's about 2 sisters, Eileen and Claire, who they grew up in Casper, Wyoming, and now they're sort of having, they're adults. They have these sort of very different lives than how they grew up. But Claire Collins is this sort of internationally renowned, huge, world famous author. She publishes like 6 to 10 books a year. She is on the Forbes bestseller list. Whereas Eileen is sort of living a more, what I would consider probably more like my life. It's much more traditional. She is raising 3 kids, is sort of struggling. Well, they're struggling financially. She is trying to get back into her passion, which is photography, and she's left her current job in order to do that, and it's a struggle for them. And the book sort of opens up with Eileen, and it's her trying to get her 3 children out the door and ready for school. So for any of the other mothers out there watching this, I'm sure that this is a scene that is, we've all been there, we've all done it. Everyone's running, late and behind, and just trying to get your kids out of bed some mornings is a feat in and of itself. And so this is how we come into Eileen's world as she is looking at Google alerts of her very famous, very successful, very wealthy sister's, premiere that she went to for the latest movie that her book was made into. So she's seeing these pictures of her gorgeous, statuesque, successful sister, while she is kind of paddling around her house first thing in the morning and trying to drag children out of their beds and stuff them into cars and get to school and things like that. But then, of course, and this is not giving anything away because it's right there. Later that day, she gets a call from her sister's husband, Simon, kind of informing her that Claire has taken her own life. And so we have this juxtaposition of this like very famous, successful, seemingly has it all woman, and yet she has taken her own life. And Eileen and her are sort of estranged. They don't speak very much, but she's shocked and she can't understand why Claire would do this, and goes out to San Francisco to try to help Simon with the arrangements and just sort of dealing with the death and everything. But then also wants to figure out why, why would her sister do this? So this is really kind of the driving force in this book, that question, why would Claire, who seemed to have it all, take her own life?
Yeah, I mean, it's such an interesting premise. A lot of people, first of all, love to read books about authors' lives, right? So that's when you first read that, you're very drawn in. But then, the fact that, she's thought to have committed suicide. Did she commit suicide? What's going on? What happened? She seemingly had this perfect life. Her sister seems to think maybe hers isn't. Like, there's all of these things going on, and that's where, like, I love, like, the title comes in and the way it's written, A Perfect Life, Her Perfect Life. I love that. And it was always, every single time I looked at the cover, I would always say, how am I supposed to read this? And I obviously knew it was Her Perfect Life, but it really stood out to me. It was really truly about, was somebody's life perfect or not? Was that was like the undertone of the story, and that was really the other driving force. Like, is somebody's life perfect, even though all these pictures and the riches and the fame and everything. So that was really, really a cool contrast on the cover. I love that. So I just loved it. So let me have a few people say hello to you. Sharon's here. I'd like to say hello, Sharon. I do have a question out the gate from Dustin Hood of Dust Jacket Reviews. If you don't know him, he's a wonderful reviewer. You will want to send him your book. He's fabulous. Was it a challenge or liberating to switch from writing young adult to adult fiction?
So this is kind of fun. This is a conversation I've had with sort of other people that I know personally, but that work in the publishing world, and also with just like girlfriends and things like that. So when I wrote young adult fiction, it was when my children were young. Like, so I started writing, well, my very first book I started writing when I was pregnant with my daughter, who is now 17 years old. So this is just how long I have been.
Wow.
Been plugging away at this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So definitely nothing's overnight around here. We take our time, I guess, doing stuff. But my kids were young when I was writing those books, and I think it was really easy for me to kind of slip into that mindset, to sort of think of that teen as a hero, and they're the protagonist of their story. And after I really struggled to write the very last young adult book that I did, because it was when my kids were kind of transitioning into getting older. And I would say it was definitely in sort of peak challenging years, what I would consider with teens, when they are really at their height of trying to sort of not be children anymore and really kind of find their voice as being young adults. And I would say that for a lot of parents and teens, that can be some of the most challenging years. And it was like impossible for me to not just empathize with parents in those situations. And I know that's obviously not the case for all, young adult authors. They have children themselves, and their children grow up, and they seem to be able to navigate those years while still always being able to stay in the headspace of the young adult protagonist. But as a parent, all of a sudden I was just like, oh my gosh, my hair was blown back, even though I work as a school psychologist. So I work with children all the time. I've certainly worked with, that age group with kids. And I know that it can be particularly challenging for teens and parents, at that time, because it's a huge transition for everybody. But I can't be the school psychologist for my own children. Like, I'm their mother, and I am, very dialed into them emotionally. And just like, I joke with people that they're hardwired into your central nervous system, and they know how to push all your buttons. Like, they've grown up with you. Right. And so
interesting. I love that you say that they are children.
Yeah. Yep. So it was just something that it had run its course, and I don't know, at this point, I really am like loving writing this women's fiction because, of course, I can still incorporate the aspects that I loved about young adult with regards to, particularly in this book where I go back and I write about Eileen and Claire from their sort of growing up years. Like there's definitely that part of it. So I think the nice thing is that I can still incorporate that aspect of our just human development into a story, but I like to paint it in this idea of, okay, so now where do we go with this, and how does this shape who we become, and how do these events that happen throughout our childhood, throughout our teens, those sort of developmental years, what do we carry from that into our adulthoods, and how does it shape us as people, and so I think that's what I maybe like a little bit more about it, because you're going with that whole character, you're not just stopping with them
right
at 18 kind of thing.
Right. It's really interesting. It sounds to me like you kind of grew your writing grew. Not that you grew, or the writing is better because it's adult writing, because that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the age of your characters grew.
I think I like to be
your children.
Well, and I think it's what I like to think of it is that right now, writing for the adult is being able to take that entire sort of life arc of it.
Yeah.
You can incorporate, some of that complex, pivotal stuff that happens, through the childhood and teen years. And then, okay, well, how does that, what does that mean later on? I just recently read, I hadn't read it when it was, it's still very popular, but I hadn't read it when it first came out, The Immortalist by, is it Chloe Benjamin?
Oh, I haven't read that either.
Oh, and so that would be a perfect example of that, where, it's just beautifully written. It's amazing. If you haven't read it, read it. But, it has these siblings when they're young, and then kind of goes with them through the course of their life and then into their young adult and adulthood, livelihoods, and just beautifully and amazingly done. And so I actually, obviously having written young adult, I know that there are, amazing, insightful, incredibly in-depth stories. And sometimes in young adult, they can tackle things that, maybe, I think it's true in both cases. Like I think definitely in the adult writing, you can tackle stuff that is a little bit, we're not going to do that with young adult. But, I think over the years, young adult has really sort of pushed the envelope behind what, was maybe acceptable. Certainly when I was that age, when I was that age, there just wasn't a ton of books, that were really kind of marketed, directly to us. And I remember reading a lot of adult books through my teen years.
Yes, I remember that too.
Yeah. So I think it's amazing that there's just this whole, just crop of books like that span every single genre now, that is really sort of marketed to that audience with.
It's wonderful. And then there's new adult.
Yes. Yep.
I like new adult. I love new adult too.
Yeah.
They're fun to read. They're fun to read too. And I think that they're all very high quality authors. They all have. It's just so interesting, the different voices that they can give to everything and their tones, and it's just wonderful. Dorothy says, hello from Dallas. Oh my God, my middle name is Claire, and I've lived in Casper, Wyoming. It's about you, Dorothy.
I swear I've never met Dorothy, and I don't.
Be careful, because she's another reviewer.
Oh, right. Yeah. So she's going to know. Like she's
going to know. She's going to know. Diane says hello there. Hi, Diane. Kate says, such a great contrast between the two, right?
Yeah. While we have Kate on, I have her book right here, which is
I didn't know who Kate was. Nice to meet you. Let's talk about Kate for a second.
So Kate Lansing, hi Kate, thanks for coming.
Hi, Kate. Nice to see you.
She's a fellow Colorado author, and this is her debut book. Came out I think it was just a week ago.
Nice.
And she writes cozy, and I'm about probably 6 chapters into this right now, and it is just the exact sort of book, like this is the kind of book you want to escape into right now. So I'm really loving it.
I love the name Killer Chardonnay.
Killer Chardonnay, right?
Oh
Based in Boulder, and the main character has a brand new winery that she's just opened, and of course the mystery is happening around that. So this is lovely, and Kate is lovely.
Oh, that's awesome. If you feel like an interview, let me know, because I love the title. That's great. And, I don't get a lot of like cozy mystery authors asking for interviews or anything. So that's great. We can have some Chardonnay. I'll bring my Long Island Chardonnay.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm from Long Island, New York. So it's nice to meet you, Kate. And congratulations on your new release. Lainey says it's a great book, page turner. Absolutely. You could tell that this is a great book. Now I've read a lot about this, like, and the ending, and the build up. I didn't know this was a thriller, and the reason why I did ask for an interview was I had read about it in an article. And I was like, oh, I need to ask Rebecca Taylor for an interview. And I said, she's never going to say yes.
Oh,
because it was like in an article, so, yeah. And then you said yes. I was like,
Well, I have to circle back. So it's kind of interesting. Okay. So this is a little bit behind the curtains, like writing versus publishing and this. So I will say, I actually don't consider it a thriller. And I actually think, and I think this has been the case, that if readers go into this and they think it's like a straight up, like it's a thriller, a domestic thriller, I think you're going to be disappointed. And I think readers who did think that, because you hear, I've read in a lot of the reviews, they're like, it's not a thriller. It's not a thriller. I'm like, I agree. It's not a thriller. Like it was written as women's fiction and a little bit of mystery around it, but probably not enough to really kind of sustain those hardcore domestic thriller fans. So yeah. I'll throw that out there. And I don't have control over exactly how everything's marketed.
Well, you know why that is? Because people like on Goodreads and Amazon, they're able to say, hey, this was a thriller. Hey, people are now allowed to put their own words, their own hashtags, their own words on things, and they stick, right? But it's like the third one down. So it does have, I know it has a thrill to it, a thriller effect to it. So you can't say that it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not one of those, from beginning to end, this long crime thing. It's not like that. I understand that. But it was like I said, my initial spark to it was that it was about a writer who's found dead. They believe she shot herself. And I keep saying they believe she shot herself because in a book, it's never what it seems, or it might be, or the question always is it? Right? That's typically when you're reading a book, the question is it what it seems? And if it is, why?
Yeah.
Right? So that's why it was like, oh my gosh, we have to find out why and is it? So I was like, this is going to be good.
Wow.
So yeah, I was like, oh, I love reading about authors and like libraries.
I love that too. Like, and it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's funny how long it took me to kind of dial into that. And it was only, I would say the realization came to me how much I'm sort of obsessed with movies and books and things like that are either about writers or, set in bookstores or any of that. And I just kind of realized that it's kind of one of my favorite things. And those are the movies I rewatched. Like I actually the other day rewatched, what's the movie with Johnny Depp, and it's based on a Stephen King short story. Is it The Secret Window? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's so, aren't these things addicting?
Yes, and it's funny because it's like I will go back and watch them again. And another just sort of obscure movie that I had recently watched that I hadn't watched in like ages was Throw Mama from the Train, which is Oh my gosh. And still I'm just kind of like, I still think the primary one, it's just a funny movie, but like my primary attraction to it is that it's about this struggling writer, and like how many times as you start that book, it was a trying to describe the weather, when he first opens it up. So I come back to them again and again. And so I think it's probably not at all an accident that my first traditionally published book, and for the adult market, is about, is about the writer. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. That's a great story. I love that. If I ever wrote a book, it'll never happen. But if I ever did, it would definitely have something to do with a bookstore or a library. I mean, I know that, and everybody knows that, or, an author interview.
There you go.
Why the author was killed while I was interviewing, and I don't know.
I'm just going to keel over right here. Yeah.
It's like, whoa, what happened, guys? Let's solve it from here.
Right.
I don't know. Just, things like that. Like, I just think that those things are just so very, very, they're also soothing, like bookstores and libraries and, books. I used to love going to the bookstore on a Sunday and like spend the day.
Yes. I would say that is probably, I miss bookstores right now, just being in them, just being in that world with fellow book lovers. And I would say, every once in a while you do like an interview, or you write, question response to something. And sometimes the question is, if you had to give up, like writing or reading, where would you be? These kind of, impossible scenarios. And I would never give up reading. Like, well, one, I think you would probably not be a very good writer if you didn't continue.
Gave up reading, yeah.
Right. But that I really do like the pleasure for me in reading other people's stories far outweighs writing my own. I love to write too. I love just going into other people's worlds and their characters and their settings, and that's, I have always done that, from a child, and that's what I would get in trouble for, like, reading.
Yeah. I've always been a huge reader since I can remember, and everybody knows this, and they're probably sick of hearing it. I mean, I've been reviewing books since 3rd grade, telling people what to read.
Yeah.
I was always, like when that little 3-page scholastic.
No,
I'd be like scribbling like what I wanted, No, I can't get the poster because I need another book, like, because remember they had those posters that you could buy. And
oh no, I don't remember. I do this twice a year. I work as a school psychologist. I work in schools, and I'm currently in a K-8. And twice a year at parent conferences, the Scholastic Book Fair comes in.
They still have it?
Yes, they still have it, and they send out the little flyers. And I still love, even though it's all children's books. I love children's books. I go through. Yeah, and I go through, and I love picture books, like the hard, backed picture books, and beautifully illustrated. Yeah. So I still go to these book fairs and like walk around them twice a year and get all those, just yay feels, and watch the countdown. So whoever it's either the technology, in charge of technology, or if they're lucky enough to still have a librarian at some books, and they put the big poster board outside wherever the bookstore or the book fair is going to be put up, and every day they're changing. It's 10 days, it's 9 days, it's 8 days to the book fair.
See, I don't have children.
Yeah.
So I don't know any of these things anymore. I don't know that they exist. No family with children lives near me, so I don't know. Because I would still be stalking it. I would still be like, is the thing in yet? Because I want to order some books. I would still be ordering more books. I order Usborne books.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, woo, I'm addicted. But anyway, so I like books that tell how to be a good person.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I collect. I don't have children, but I collect children's books to, I don't know, bury me with. I don't know. But yeah, I think books are so important for all age groups, right?
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't.
And for another reason, my stepmother, when she was passing away, I had to read to her.
Yeah.
And I couldn't read her these types of adult books. I had to read her children books.
Yeah.
And I had to show her pictures. So now I never know I'm going to need them again.
It's just such a comfort. I find so much comfort in them. And yes, and children's literature is is a lovely place to go hide, you know, inside of every once in a while.
Good. So it's good. Dorothy says, such a difficult time for parents, for sure, teachers too.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine, right? If I was a parent, teacher right now, it'd be a struggle. It's got to be rough. And you're the school psychologist.
Yes. Yeah.
Woo-wee. You must have it rough.
Yes.
Kate says, agreed, Lainey. It's fantastic with so many twists.
So Lainey is she's also a member of my 2020 debut author group. In addition to, so I'm a member.
This is another author?
Yeah, Lainey Cameron. And so her book, Exit Strategy, I believe it's coming out in July. I don't have the cover of that book to show you because I haven't yet. But she also writes women fiction, and she's a member of the Women's Fiction Writers Association. She's very involved with them, and I'm on the board this year with Women's Fiction Writers, and she's just amazing and so helpful, and just really a part of that author community that works to kind of lift up other authors and be a support. So I feel tremendously lucky and grateful to be connected with these women, and there's men in that organization too. You forget to say that because it's called Women's Fiction Writers. Yes, there's Lainey's beautiful cover of her book that's coming out in July. So look it up.
Yeah, hers was another book that I was looking at. This is hysterical. You meet so many people. I love it. Yeah. Fantastic. I love the circle that you keep because I can't believe I can't pronounce her name. I knew her name by heart. If I look at it, I can say it.
We could probably ask Lainey if she'll type it into the chat box, and then
I'll know it. Let me look her up. Hold on.
Yeah, the author of The Mountains Sing, which I'm very excited about.
Nu Phan Quai Mai.
Yes.
I tried to look it up. That's it. I had to see it. But yeah, I couldn't believe that you know her. She's just wonderful. So I see you're surrounded by wonderful, wonderful women, very strong women.
And I feel amazingly fortunate and lucky for that. I think that this is, writing is a very tough kind of desire to have, I think, for anybody who wants to go into it. And like I had said earlier, I feel very lucky and fortunate and successful to be holding this book in my hands now, but this was 18 years in the making. Well, not writing this particular book, but just like the sort of working towards a writing career, in general. And it's a tough road to hoe. And I think a lot of times, readers think that it's, like, oh, this book has come out and, oh, it's so well, but there is so many years and work and, kind of perfecting your craft and getting to that point. And that's a lot of that happens behind the scenes kind of thing. So I think it's amazing if you can find like a support group of fellow writers, whatever your genre is, it exists, it's out there. And really finding those connections is, I think, key, one, for growing and, learning more about the industry and about craft in general, but also just making those connections with other writers who, really understand the challenges and the process. And, I'm never so happy as when I get to go to like a writing conference and hang out with other writers. And other writers will tell you this too. You go and it's like, we're all a little weird and we're a little bit odd kind of thing, but we all get together under this umbrella of this shared passion, this shared love of like books and creating and just kind of really all get to geek out together and go to classes together and eat lunch together. And it's really amazing. And I never feel as connected and completely just sort of, understood as I do when I get to hang out with other writers. I love it. I absolutely do. And so I'm so sad that so many conferences are being canceled this year. Of course, we understand, and it's safe and things like that. But I think, you know, really making sure that we, you know, still come together virtually, you know, for things like this, or, you know, even online, finding those groups, I think it's really vital. So.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Very important. You know, I do want to say, you know, your book was 18 years in the making, but along the way, yes, you know, you also had your adult titles. You were the winner of the Colorado Book Award for Ascendant.
For Ascendant, yeah. Yeah.
And Effective Needs was a finalist for Romance Writers of America Rita Award.
Mm-hmm. That was in 2017.
You know, so, you were kicking it out of the park, like, along the way, right?
Oh, so here's the kind of the interesting backstory about that. So Her Perfect Life is my first traditionally published book. And so for anybody outside of the writing tradition, or, you know, writing world, who doesn't know it, what am I talking about? So all of my other previous books were self-published.
Yeah, we understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So great. So that, you know, it's a very different, it's a different world. And I would say that, you know, there are self-published authors who find tremendous success. And they do very well. And, you know, there's ones who will tell you they would actually never go
back. Right.
They have found this is, oh my gosh, all of a sudden, you know, they're just like, they're in complete control of their career. And, you know, I started I would say, you know, I wrote Ascendant, and I actually did have an agent for Ascendant. And I was with Emma Patterson at the time, and we went out on submission and, you know, did that whole thing. And it just never took off. Like, we weren't able to sell it, and, you know, got lots of like really great feedback from it, but, you know, just nothing ever happened with it. And this was, you know, kind of at the beginning of the whole self-publishing wave. And I'll tell you, like, learning about self-publishing was really exciting to me at the time. And, like, you know, all of the things you have to learn in order to get a book out in the world, I was really into. I loved kind of, okay, we got to find like an editor, and now we have to learn about laying out the interior of a book and finding somebody to, you know, make the cover for you. And so I actually really enjoyed a lot of the different hats that I got to wear while I was self-publishing. But it was lovely to win the Colorado Book Award, and it was, you know, definitely wonderful to be a finalist for the Rita Award at the time. But it was a lot of work, you know. And
I can imagine.
It's a lot of work. And so, I mean, when people decide to kind of,
it was really a lot of work. Yeah.
They go that path, and it's, I mean, you know, and it's a lot of work to be a writer. But then when you're gonna wear every single hat,
right? Yeah.
Throughout it, it's pretty amazing. Especially ones who are really successful, because then it's like, it's not even just are they creating this product, but then they are completely managing all of the marketing aspects that go along with it, like finding their readers and connecting and newsletters. And, you know, and I have some of my closest writing friends are, you know, still self-publishing, and they're doing it amazingly, and they've found a lot of success with it. I didn't ever really just kind of take off with it. And so that's why when I decided to switch to adult writing for adults, I was like, you know, I'm gonna try again. You know, like, this was my try again book. Like, I'm gonna try again
awesome.
With traditional publishing. And I was able to connect with my agent. I'd met her at a conference, and I was like, hey, you know, and I pitched her the idea. I didn't even have the book. And I was very honest with her. I said, you know, this is the idea I have for it. But it's not written yet. And she said, well, I'm interested, you know, send me, when you have some chapters, send them to me. And so a couple months went by, and I sent them, I wrote the chapters and I sent them to her, and she signed me on that. So, but like I said, you know, it's been quite a journey, for sure. So
congratulations. So, so wonderful. It must have been so exciting when the book came out.
Yeah. Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. It just came out Tuesday. That's incredible. That's just incredible. Oh, Dorothy wants to know, what age do they consider young adult? Excuse me.
So, this is kind of the age-old question. So I'm going to give an answer, and then somebody else will.
It's going to contradict
tell
you.
me why I'm wrong. So we'll just kind of just preference it with that. So typically young adult it's a market, and so I think a lot of people think young adult is a genre. It's not. Young adult has every genre in it. There's science fiction, there's romance, there's literary YA. So it's really a market, and what we're talking about is an age range, and typically. There's always exceptions, but it's going to kind of take you up to like around age 18, I would say. And then of course there's the middle grade market. And so what's that? That's that kind of gap that's before young adult. But after kids are kind of moving out of those early reader chapter books, they're kind of getting beyond those early reader chapter books and into that middle grade range, which probably runs up to maybe 12 or 13-ish, the age of your protagonist. And also always that is going to be dependent on, what's the content of the book, because it's sort of interesting when you try to sort of define things, it can be tricky. And you do sometimes just have to look at a book individually, I believe. That's personal opinion. Because, there's books that are written for adults that have characters of those ages, right? But you read the content, you read the story, it's obviously not a young adult book. It's obviously not a middle grade book. Is it obvious in that way to everybody? Probably not. And so I think that's where you get into that gray area of what age ranges is being marketed to. So yeah.
Well, there's there's that book from My Three Cups, I think it's named. The Three Cups or something like that. It's about an Indian family. Very popular book. Anyway, I got the young adult version for my niece.
Oh, okay.
Because it's more of an adult book to read, but I knew she'd like it. She was like 12 years old, but it was still written by that author.
Yeah.
But she wrote a young adult version. So I guess we broke it down a little bit. Yeah. I have it in my library still, because she'd always bring me my books back. She'd come and check out books from my library.
I love that. Yeah.
When she visited for the summer. Kate Lansing says, "Oh, Becky, you're too sweet." Becky.
I love you.
We can call you Becky. I love it. That's so sweet. Diane says, "Hi, Kate. She will have to read." Kate says, "Thank you. Laugh out loud. Will do." Let's contact me. Please do. Diane says, she loves meeting new authors. We know she does. She loves those movies you mentioned. Secret Window.
Yes.
That's the movie. Elizabeth Watson Huss.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah. Diane says, "Do you have a set schedule that you write to?"
So, sometimes, not right now, I'm a little bit all over the place and a little bit of a mess. But I work a full-time job during the school year. I'm off right now. Or I usually work a full-time job in the school year. We all got sent home in March. But
I don't mean I'm not laughing.
No, neither am I. It's just kind of like, it's more like exaggeration. Yeah, I'm here with you. So during the school year, when I'm working on a project, I'm most successful if I get up early in the morning, like at 4, and write for about 2 hours until about 6 o'clock. And then, like Eileen, I'm running around.
Oh no. She froze. We have a storm here. I wonder what's happening in Colorado there. Hopefully, if she clocks out, she'll know to clock back in. Hi. Just so you know, we have a huge storm going on right here.
Oh.
So if you freeze up, or even if you get kicked out, just click back into that link that I sent.
Always good to know.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Kind of
I did not expect another storm to come through, because we just had one, but it literally just came through. I just heard a bang when you froze.
unpredictable, and also, you know, doing like any sort of virtual interviews or like your job even online.
I know it's got to be rough, right? Oh my gosh, I have those glasses.
Oh yeah. And this is just sparkling water, even though it's Friday and it's after 5 o'clock. I am just drinking sparkling water. Right?
It's okay.
We'll have a glass of wine afterwards.
You're an animal, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Christy Clancy's here.
Clancy, so
You know her too?
Yes. So also,
oh, you're killing
also a member of the 2020 debut group. Her book, The Second Home.
It just arrived. I ordered it. It just arrived at my house.
So good. And so I actually had an advanced reading copy of it, and I'm pretty sure I gave it to Kate. Kate Lansing probably has that arc. Otherwise, I'd show it. I'd show the cover
for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull that up. I'll keep talking.
Okay.
Another just wonderful, amazing, lovely book, getting lots of amazing, fantastic press, which it absolutely deserves. That was probably one of my favorite books that I read. There you go. There it is. Yep. It just, it's perfect summer read. You're going to want to just, well, I would say sit at the beach or sit on the pool, but I don't know if any of us are going to be able to do that.
He's going to be on the right review
anytime soon. But you can do it like, you know, through her book. Just go with her characters to Cape Cod and enjoy this amazing house. And it's just fantastic story of like family, beautiful, lovely. And she's another just really supportive writer that I have had the opportunity to get to know virtually over these last few months. And I feel just really honored to kind of be in that circle with these other writers. So, yeah.
Well, Rebecca, there's another author here that I've been dying to interview, but she never responds.
Was it her? Was it Allison Hammer?
Yes, you look beautiful. If you're taking questions, my favorite one is to ask what the biggest difference between the first draft and the final book.
Okay.
Hi, so Allison. Nice to have you with us.
So we're going to answer Allison's question, but really quick. So Allison is another member of the 2020 debut group. She's also, she's also a member of Women's Fiction Writers Association, which I'm a part of. And her book just released in April, I believe it was. And that's You and Me and Us. And that has been just doing really, really well. Another very talented, you know.
I used to do this book buzz on a Novel Bee.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. And her 1 month, her book was the book we were buzzing about.
Yeah. Oh, see, look, I just saw she said, I haven't got any messages. So sorry. So now we know how to hunt her down. We've got her here. We publicly said, Allison.
Oh, that's so strange. Yeah, I asked her for an interview and she never responded. I don't bother. You, me. So answer the question and I'll show her book.
So her first question, what was the biggest difference between the first draft and the last draft? So it's so weird, like, because, you know, as I think about like the first version that I sent to my agent. So the thing,
crazy.
So a couple of the bookstores near me have just opened, and I wanted to tell Allison, I just saw her book on the table at Barnes & Noble under new releases. And so it was there. And
what a special story.
Yeah, it was wonderful. But with regards to the difference first and last draft, so I would say a couple things that I can think of right off the top of my head, that there was more in my initial draft about the sisters' relationship when they were younger. So there was probably more of that kind of childhood stuff. There was also, so there is a scene where Claire and her teenage love of her life, Adam, they're camping. And at the end of that scene, it's a sex scene, right? Because I'm like, I'm finally writing adult books. I can write like a good proper sex scene. And it just happened to be between these two consenting 18-year-olds, you know, whatever. So I didn't really think anything of it. I'm like, this is a book for adults or whatever. And my agent didn't say anything about it. She didn't bat an eye. But then it was my editor, who's since left my publisher, actually, and I'm sorry to see her go. But so she's not with them anymore. Not that that has anything to do with the story at all. But she said, well, I'm a little bit squidgy about this kind of teenage sex scene. And I was like, oh, really? You know, and I would say it was probably one of the things that your editors say, we should do this. We should change this. And, and there's a couple, I pushed back a little bit on that one. I was kind of like, oh, really? I kind of think it's sort of important and it's kind of steamy, which I was like, I get to write some steamy stuff now, Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did end up cutting it. So the sex still happens at the end of that scene. It's just all very off camera. Where before
closed door.
It was very on camera before, very on camera. And so I was joking with like some writer girlfriends, and they're like, "Oh, you need to like release that as like a special, like a something." Do you like?
Yeah. Allison says you should publish the scene. Or give it
away as an extra. Yeah, there you go.
So
that's exactly what they said too. They're like, "Oh yeah, publish it." But I'm kind of thinking like, well, that scene out of context is probably just.
No, I'm going to tell you something. Readers love even like extra words that you were going to use in a book. They love extra quotes. We love extra things. Okay, anything extra. So if it was a closed door sex scene and you want to open the door, we would love it.
Yeah, it's not.
But often with editors and stuff, we love editors. Obviously, we give them a lot of props. But sometimes editors do crazy things. Like, for example, there's an English author. I'm not going to name her, but one time she posted that her editor, she was like, y'all, she didn't say y'all, because I'm not Southern. I went to college in North Carolina, so I say y'all sometimes. But she says, y'all, my editor tells me that I should take out the X's and the O's from my characters writing notes to one another, so that it's more American.
Oh.
But she's an English author.
Yes.
So I was like, wait a minute. That's just so wrong. And everybody was telling her this. Because a lot of Americans like to read English authors for the fact that we get to read these little English innuendos, things that English people do, that they use the O-U-R in color.
Yes.
And that they use X's and O's in notes, that they do these things. We don't want English authors to Americanize themselves.
Yeah. That particular example is so funny to me because I don't think I ever thought about it. So actually my mother is English, and she only immigrated to the United States like right before I was born, kind of thing. So she grew up she grew up in England in Doncaster, and then they immigrated to the States like in 70. It was before I was born, so it was like 74. And my whole life, whenever I've gotten a birthday card or anything from my mother, she signs it XXXOOO.
Yeah, that's my mom too.
I don't think I've ever really thought of that as a very like specifically English thing until you just said that. And I was like, oh, I bet you that's one of those things it was never on my radar because I grew up with it my whole life, but I was like, oh yeah, that probably was.
Yeah, but it really is. But
yeah.
It really, you shouldn't take the English out of an English writer. You shouldn't take anything, the heritage out of any writer. I don't know, just things like that. So it's just stuff like that I just want to go, what is wrong with you? So it would be fun if you brought the sex scene back.
We'll see. Yeah.
Or you could do it at a reading.
Read it.
You know what we could do? We could have a 3-way chat.
And I read my sex scene. Yeah.
You could read your sex scene while I'm interviewing Kate for her Chardonnay.
Oh yeah, because I'm sure
Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And then you do your sex scene.
I probably would have to have a few drinks before I could publicly get up.
Well, you could be like, okay, now I'm ready.
Yeah.
That's funny. Hi, Ruth. Ruth Benson is here. I'm going through a bunch of messages. She says, Annie Horsky, McDonald, I made it.
Hi, Ruth.
Wonderful member. She's a great reader as well. I'm going through like there's so many messages. If you ever feel like looking through, that would be wonderful. Dorothy says, hopefully Rebecca will post all of the authors' names and titles so we can find them.
So that's something, can I do that after the fact? Can I go into the
chat? You can always leave comments below. Yeah, you can always leave comments. You can respond to comments. You can say hello to people.
I will definitely go in and I will list everyone we've talked about and their book titles, because I'm
that would be great.
I'm all about other writers.
One that's definitely coming.
Oh yes, that
on the 20th.
No,
June.
Is
she's coming to write review?
She's coming to you on the 20th. I thought you meant her release date. Because I'm like, no, we shared a release date. Her book is.
No. Oh yeah, it's released this week, but she's coming June 20th.
Oh,
she was supposed to come, but then she had a virtual tour that she had, so we had to change the date.
I'll have to come back and post comments during hers.
Oh, that would be fun. And I would love it if the other ladies would contact me for an interview. It would be so much fun.
Allison and Kate, that's you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like y'all are like a little sorority.
Aw, sweet. I would say I was never in a sorority kind of thing, but if I ever was, I would hope it would be a sorority of fellow writers. And it doesn't have to just be, it could be, I love men and women and all of us, kind of like a co-ed sorority of writers.
Well, a fraternity is co-ed, so you'd be
okay. There you go.
Fraternity. I love my thriller authors too. So like I have a huge group of them. I'm doing a special thing for an author, a thriller author. I will not say what I'm doing because it's a surprise. But so we're all in this thing together, and it's like, oh my God, it's like they're all like one big group of people that just love on each other.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel what's going on here with the women's fiction, which is what I'm just in love with. I just love it. You all need to start a Facebook page.
Ooh. I'll have to think about that.
That's what you should talk about. That, because that's really like what everyone's doing.
It's a reader, a Facebook page that's readers focused. Because I know we have like a writers one, but that's a very good point. Like
have a Facebook page. Come up with your little name for it. With the you girl, I say girls all the time, so take offense. With
there
you girls,
there are men that write women's
like or boys. They had a boy, which everyone would love. As like Blue Sky Book Chat has like 6 authors.
Yeah.
Tall Poppy has 6 writers. Have your writers all like belong to the page, and then every once in a while you guys go live and chat or just give away books, and but then all of the readers come and they pay attention and they fall in love.
That is a great idea. I'm gonna have to.
Readers love that. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. So I know that your perfect, her perfect. I keep saying her perfect life. Did you know how you were going to end it?
I mean. So I would say actually another part that kind of goes back to Allison's question about what was different about the first draft and the last draft was probably for sure the order of the chapters that exist, because the way it kind of it's multiple timeline kind of thing, and also multiple point of view. So you're getting like Eileen and Claire's point of view, and then there's like I think like 3 chapters for Simon, and he's Claire's husband. The way the kind of the story unfolded definitely changed based on which chapters went where. And actually some chapters even got broken up. So like some things that were like all in one chapter kind of got broken up, and then something would be moved, earlier on. It was kind of like, this is information that they should really have here. And it gets confusing. Like, really, I can remember working on edits for this and like, oh my gosh, like trying to keep track of like, okay, where was this information already revealed? And I have to go back and like, tell them one thing or another. And so it was definitely kind of a juggling act. But did I know how it was going to end?
I can't imagine that things would change around, when you're.
Yeah. So I would say, I knew, what was going to be revealed. Not that it's actually not a huge secret to the reader. as you go through the book. It's a huge secret to Eileen, and it was a huge secret to Claire. But, the signposts are there, for the reader. And I would say this is probably the evidence of it really being more of a women's fiction than a thriller. There's not like this, giant surprising, twist that happens at the end that the reader doesn't see coming. I knew why she did it, and there's something that I've gotten a little bit of flack over that happens at the end.
I know.
You read it, and
I know, because you know what I do. We're the Right Review, so we're all about reviews. So before I interview anyone, I read every review.
Yeah.
Unless it's like 1,000, but I definitely read every review. Yep. So I read it.
I won't say what it was, but I will say this, and this is not a defense about it or whatever. It's the reasoning behind why I did that. And it's because that was something that was really going to break Claire. And it did. It broke her. It broke me writing it. You know what I mean? And I needed to break her. I mean, this is a character that takes her own life kind of thing. And certainly there's the setup there with regards to, what happened in her past and that the awareness of that. And then, that is upsetting to her. But then the last thing that just really kind of puts her over the edge is actually the thing that's put several of the readers kind of over the edge.
Well, what's funny is when readers judge the composition of a book so much so that they decide what you've put in a book is so harming to a book, right? When the reality is, if you sit in the book and the story, you will realize that there was a reason for it.
Yeah.
And in reality, these things do happen. And I totally knew it.
Well, and so the thing is too about that is that,
there's a different, sorry.
No, I was just going to say.
I'm already like,
Yeah. And it is upsetting. It's supposed to be upsetting, and I think that's all I'll say about that. Is it upsetting to the reader? Yes, it was upsetting to me as a writer to write it, but I need it to be most upsetting to Claire. And
right.
and that was why, kind of thing.
No,
so
I understand.
Everybody has their thing, and that's definitely
one.
But
see, I'm doing a chat with Dustin Hood. He's another reviewer. We're doing the anatomy of a review.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about your review.
Oh, okay.
Because then I could bring it up. Because nobody's necessarily talking about your book. I won't say that it's about your book. I'll talk about what they said and why I thought it wasn't a fair thing. But there's other things that people say in reviews that are not necessarily of the utmost fair judgment of a book, because certain things, like they'll say the character cursed too much.
Oh.
Right? But it was one woman in a whole book that cursed too much, but the reality was she was wounded. She had a lot of trauma.
Wow.
But as the arc of the stories go, she's healing and she's cursing less, and you're finding out why she's cursing. It's a defense mechanism, right? So unless you're obviously you weren't paying attention, right? You weren't really paying attention. So like there's just so many things that people complain about when there's not the whole understanding.
And one thing I will say, and I believe this wholeheartedly, I think the review is the domain of the reviewers. You know what I mean? Like reviewers.
I absolutely agree.
And so where it's like, I'll read them and, I can agree or disagree or whatever. But that's, once the book has left my world, once it's left me and it's gone out into the world and any one person is reading it, the book is theirs, and
I totally agree.
I'm a huge believer in that, a lot of what a person does or does not enjoy about a book is what they're bringing to it. It really is a unique experience. I think, any book that I read, and you could read the exact same book, and because we have different lives and different experiences and sort of different psychological makeups, we're bringing,
I mean, that's the whole thing.
Different reads to that novel. And so that's why, I don't get sucked into reviews too much because I think, I mean, I'm just like, I'm human. I like to read a good review as much as the next person kind of thing. But I also don't want to move into that too much either, because I do think a lot of it is just whatever that reader is bringing to that experience. Like I'm painting part of a picture, but you're really kind of filling in more of the detail.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing about it. And I mean, I completely understand that. But there's a lot of things that we're talking about in the anatomy of a review,
that would be exciting to see.
Things you shouldn't give away. For example, I don't think that should have been given away. I think that was that to me, that's my opinion, which, as a reviewer for over 2 decades,
I do wish they wouldn't give stuff away. But
I don't think that things like that should be given away. I don't know, but that's also my opinion. And that's why we're discussing these things. But I do believe that it's always in, whatever it's in their hands, of course. I'm not saying that it's not. But I do also believe that when things happen in a story, there's usually more to it. So that's all. It is interesting. In other words, it wasn't meant to hurt the reader as much as it was meant to hurt the character.
Yes, it was.
And people need to remember that.
It was all about breaking Claire, because
right.
Yeah.
So, Allison says Monday is Women's Fiction Day, and there are a lot of authors doing giveaways through
Women's Fiction Writers Association.
Yes. So that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yep. So that's June 8th. And if you go to Women's Fiction Writers Association website, there is the press release. And then there's also the link to be able to sort of see all these different authors that are doing giveaways on their own. Usually I think it's on their websites. I know mine will be on my website, kind of thing. And just to kind of support each other, as like, kind of what we've been doing here, but on a bigger scale, with more authors, just really kind of supporting each other, lifting each other up, and bringing awareness to a lot of different titles. So
that's fun. I'm interviewing 2 female authors that day.
Oh, exciting.
So that's fun. I didn't know it was Women's Fiction Day. Now that I know that, I wish I had more authors to interview. All right. Diane says she can't wait for an interview. Oh, Karen Chandler's here. Oh, hello, Karen. Nice to see you. And Carol Deegan's here. I have to give a shout out to Carol Deegan. She finally got here. She's from Montana.
Oh,
hi, Carol.
In Montana.
And there's someone else I missed, Mary Kalikoa. She said, a great question, Allison. That was a good question.
Yeah. Well, she's a writer. They have all the good questions, right?
Yeah, right. And Allison says, ooh, that is so exciting, for telling her about her book being in the store.
Oh, is she not? You haven't seen it. Well, and then we've all been trapped at home, kind of thing. It's just wonderful to see like these books that, you've gotten to know the writers a little more personally online, but still, and you go into the store and their work is there, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like it's very exciting, for me anyway, to see that.
Isn't it funny how you feel like
Yeah.
You actually feel like you know them?
Personally excited for them. Like,
yes.
Personally excited to see their work out in the world, and to imagine, people, them connecting with other readers through their stories is, I don't know. I get excited about that.
Well, I can tell you're very excited about other authors. I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, you sat here marketing for other authors half of your interview.
Well, I am a reader. I do love to write, but I am a reader, and I love nothing more. You can ask a couple of my best personal girlfriends. Like, we always end up having the "what are you reading" conversation, and and I'm not sitting there plugging my own books to my friends. I'm like, oh my God, I read this one and this one and this one, and they're amazing. And I really enjoy that. I should do what you're doing. I should just do a thing where I host.
You should host
other authors. Like, I love it.
You should do this. You could be on the Right Review and interview people if you want. There's plenty of time available if you on the page if you want to interview authors.
A lot of open air time, yeah, on the internet.
Lots of open air time, and you can share it anywhere you want. I mean, on StreamYard, you can take my StreamYard and put it on your page. Do whatever you want. Because I already pay for unlimited hours. So if you want to use it, feel free. Just let me know. All right. So, and I don't have a logo or anything on it, so it's clear. All right. So we really appreciate it. And the beautiful thing is, you offered a wonderful giveaway. Can you tell everybody about it? It's on its way to me.
Yes. So we're giving away one copy of Her Perfect Life on the Write Review. It's on your book club though, isn't it? Are you doing it through the book club?
I give it away on the book club in the Write Review. Yeah.
On the Write Review. So the giveaway here for Her Perfect Life. The book is on its way to her. It's in New Jersey right now. I just checked tracking. It's almost there. Yeah. So stay tuned for that.
That's here. Yep. Along with any authors bookmarks and stuff that they've sent to me, and tea bags and stuff like that, pens, anything that's been sent to me, I'll include. So you get a nice little package from Rebecca Taylor. As soon as it gets to me, I go to post office once a week, and then I will mail it out. So thank you so much, Rebecca. It was such a joy to meet you. I look forward to reading all of your book and leaving a review and getting to know you better. I hope you'll, come visit us at the book club and get to know us more and, be around. And when your next book comes out, for another interview.
I would love to do that. And I just want to say thank you very much for hosting me. I do really appreciate it, particularly during this very unique time of launching books into the world. This just means so much to me, and I know to every other author that you're hosting here. So that you do this is very much appreciated. Thank you very much, Annie.
Oh, thank you. I love doing this, so it's my heart. So thank you so much. I have to say real quick, I go through and I specifically pick books that I really know I'd want to read.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I really highly recommend your book. So
thank you. That means a lot to me. It really does.
So thank you so much for agreeing to this interview, and thanks everybody for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.